Miss Alicia here, Director of Face It Beauty School. We're going to be going over practical exam for your esthetician license with TDLR and PSI. Okay, so first we're going to go over everything that PSI says about your state board exams. This includes information for your written exam and your practical exam. You are going to have to take two exams to be able to get your license. First, you're going to take your written exam. Once you pass your written exam, then they will allow you to take your practical exam. I also recommend that everyone downloads a copy of the PSI bulletin. This is on your TDLR website, the TDLR state board, the state website. You can download this exact bulletin. Again, it has everything about your test from start to finish. It also has how long the tests are, what's required, what's not required, what you want to bring, if you want to take it in person or if you're going to take it online. It has all the information, and it also has details about each step of the exam. So what's gonna be in the kit, it has that. If you want to build your own kit, we also rent out kits if you want to come and rent a kit from us as well. But it has everything that's needed for the exam, and it has the exact order that the proctors are going to call out each exam. Okay, so first, there's different ways to book your exam. Right now, your practical exam is $76 and your written exam is $55. And you can book your test by calling PSI. You can book your test by mail, which is going to take a lot longer. You can book your test online, which is the fastest way to book your exam. So your esthetician exam has 75 scored items. It's 105 minutes, and 70% is all you need to pass state boards. You have 7 non-scored items. Yeah, 7 non-scored items, which is about 10 minutes long for that part. So the different sections of your written exam are licensing and regulation. That's 13 questions. Infection control. That's 19 questions. Skincare, 12 questions. Facial treatments, 19 questions. Hair removal is 12 questions. And they also have a list of references here if you want to study beforehand. Okay, so moving on to your practical examination. One thing I want to mention beforehand, before we get to that part, there's also things if you're going to take your exam in person, there's things that you don't want to bring to the examination. Things like your phone. They won't allow you to bring your phone in, or they'll make you put your phone in a pouch behind your chair, and then they'll zip it up. If you're going to take your exam in person, they're going to check your glasses, because you know people have those glasses that have cameras on them, so you're not taking a picture of the test. They'll check behind your ears, or even if you're online taking your exam online, they'll check behind your ears to make sure. And you also can't mouth. Like some people, they just mouth, like kind of talk to yourself, like if you're like, yeah, what is the answer to this? Oh my gosh, what's the answer? Oh my gosh. If you do that, they'll stop your exam and you'll have to pay all over again. Even if you're chewing gum. Chewing gum looks like mouthing. So you can't chew gum. You can't bring any note paper or anything like that. See what they have some of the other things on here. If you miss your exam, you'll have to pay and book again. They also have an insurance plan there. Did you see an insurance thing on there? To where if for some reason maybe you're sick, or maybe there's something happened and you can't take your exam on that day, they have like a small fee just so you don't have to pay the whole thing again, and you can pay for that whenever you book your exam if you want to. That's optional. There's other things you can't have. I'm trying to remember some other things that you can't have. Oh, you definitely, you want to be dressed appropriately. If you're not dressed appropriately, and that's even if you're online. If you're online and you're taking your exam online, make sure you wear pants, because they'll ask you to stand up. And you want to make sure that you're clothed properly, because even in your TDLR rules book, it has types of clothing that are not allowed for licensed carriers. So you want to dress appropriately. You don't want to have cleavage out. You don't want to wear anything see-through like lace, lacy items. All those things could prevent you from being able to take your exam. Closed-toe shoes. Definitely, your shoe. You have to have on closed-toe shoes. Even if you're taking your exam online, they'll ask you to look at the floor to make sure that you don't have anything that's going to allow you to like look at answers or anything. So they want to see that you have closed-toe shoes on. That's a requirement for license holders as well. Whenever you get your license, you're supposed to wear closed-toe shoes, because we handle sharp objects like extraction tools, sharp tweezers, scissors, and you could have a blood exposure incident. So that's the reason why you have to have closed-toe shoes on. Please don't go and take your test in flip-flops. They will turn you around and you'll have to pay more to test again.
They made me take the jacket off too, so.
Which one?
No jackets either.
Oh yeah, they don't want you to wear a jacket, so make sure that you wear something that's warm, and again, something that covers your body so you're not showing off your cleavage and things like that. Anything else I missed? Think of? Another thing I just thought about is the room. You can't be in a room that has writings on the wall. If you're going to take your test online, you can't be in a room that has a bunch of posters or writings on the wall. The walls need to be blank in that room, or they will stop you from testing. Also, you can't have people in the background. Like wherever you're testing, it has to be quiet. You can't have people interrupting you, or they will stop the exam. If you have animals, if you have children or company, family, it's best to take it in a place where there's nobody around, because for any little bitty thing, even if they see you look up and look at a distance away from the camera or away from your desk, then they will stop the exam. If they hear a TV, they will stop the exam for a TV. And did they make you use a mirror to look at your reflection? They made some of the other girls use a mirror to check for the reflection on their laptops, to make sure that they didn't have notes posted on their laptops.
Oh, I went into the testing
center. Oh, you went inside. Okay, so they will have you go get a mirror or something that shows the reflection, so they can see your laptop, so they can make sure that you don't have notes posted on your laptop.
If I have pictures hanging on my wall, should I just like take them down?
Just take anything down, because then they're gonna ask you what that is, and then they're gonna stop. If you're looking that way, they'll stop this. Just take it down, because they're gonna ask you to do a full view of your room like this. If you're taking it online, if you're taking it in person, then you can avoid a lot of this stuff if you're taking it in person. But there's still strict rules whenever you take it in person as well. So you just want to be mindful of everything. Just don't go. The best thing to do is go in your school uniform. That's the best thing. Go in your school uniform, and then you won't have any problems, because the uniform is designed around what State Board wants. I think that's everything with the requirements and going inside that I could think of. So now let's go into the supplies for your kit. So remember that your written exam is separate. You're going to take them on separate days. Once you pass your written, then they'll approve you for your practical. So for your practical, you're going to need to bring a kit. In the kit, there are certain things that have to be labeled, and then there are things that should not be labeled, that you must not have a label on. So they have a list here. The list of things that are not to be labeled are your cotton pads, sponges, facial tissues, bowl for water, disposable applicators, drapes, fabric strips, gloves, finger cots, head draping mannequin stand, tripod, mannequin, mask brush, paper towels, towels. Those things that are not to be labeled. Things that must be labeled are 30 by 30 kit. With this kit, the 30 by 30 is a pretty big kit. It's really big. That kit is big. So a size like this is fine. This is a good size. Finish. How did I get started? Okay. So this size kit is fine. This is fine. You don't necessarily have to have the biggest kit. That 30 by 30 is really big. It's like one of those kits that you put a bunch of stuff in when you're like packing or for storage. But on your kit, you're going to label it. And it has the information that you're going to label on your kit. So you're going to label either one of the three. Or if you want to put all three, that's fine. But you only have to do one of the three. Pre-sanitized, you're going to at least label at least two sides of your kit. That way, if you're turning your kit this way, the proctor can see it. Or if you're turning your kit that way, the proctor can see it. If you want to do all four sides, that's fine as well. But you just need to label it. Pre-sanitized, clean, or disinfected. Either one. If you just want to go all out and put all three, that's fine. Antiseptic, soothing lotion, you shouldn't. It needs to have a label. Your antiseptic or your soothing lotion, which is like your toner, not your toner. I'm sorry. Your antiseptic is like for a cut or a wound. That needs to have a label. Your fresheners, that's like a toner. That should have a label as well. Your blood exposure kit, that's going to have a label, and I'm going to show you how I label the items in the kit as well. A cleansing product, that needs a label. Everything I'm talking about here is going to need a label. EPA approved disinfectant or assimilated product, those are going to have a label. Assimilated product is something that you're pretending it's something else, or a mock, like not the actual thing, but you're pretending that it is the real thing. Eye makeup remover, hand sanitizer, mask, or a pack product, massage product, moisturizer, assimilated product for soft waxing service, petroleum jelly or honey, trash bags. Those all have to have a label. Items you're not going to bring for your test are brooms, dustpans, covered trash cans, mounted wall clocks, workstations, manicure tables, or chairs. Okay.
Am I not allowed to have a chair?
Okay, so now I'm going to show you all what's in my kit here, so you can make your own kit. So again, you don't need that big, huge, humongous kit. A size like this is fine. So first things first, you want to make sure that you put all your baggies in order. You're going to have a Ziploc bag, which is like a gallon-sized bag for each service. Each service that you're going to have to do, you're going to have a bag for it, and you want to put your items in the order that you're going to test in. And this PSI bulletin has the exact order that you're going to put everything in. So the first thing is your pre-examination setup and disinfection. So that's the first bag. And you want to make sure that your kit is facing the right way so you know which way to pull from. So the first bag is pre-exam setup, and you're going to put a label on each bag for each section. So what I have in this bag is gloves, my first aid kit, my Barbicide or EPA, my hand sanitizer, and a pack of paper towels. Notice that this has no label. This is one of the things they don't want a label on. This is my first bag, okay? So we're gonna keep everything in order. I'm gonna show you
again.
I'm gonna show you what's in there again. So your EPA, I'll give you a list. I have a list for this. So I'll give you the list later, so you don't have to. But if you just want to write it down, let me just tell you again. EPA, which is your Barbicide. This can be a mock product. This can be mock. It doesn't have to be the real thing. I just put it in a blue bottle because Barbicide is blue. So this could be mock. It could be water in here. It doesn't have to be the real thing. You're just going to pretend. Or you can put EPA in there. Then you have your gloves. Then you have your paper towels. Then you have your first aid kit. Then you have your hand sanitizer. So those are the items that are in your first pre-exam setup bag. Then we have our mannequin here. Your mannequin, I recommend putting her headband on in advance. Do not put it on later. Don't put it in one of the bags. Let her have her headband on already so you don't have to think about it. So put her right after pre-exam setup. put her right behind that. That's because you're going to bring her out afterwards in that section. So she shouldn't be before pre-exam. Pre-exam should be in front. Your mannequin should be next. And she should have her headband on. The next section is cleansing service. So the next bag is cleansing service labeled. So in this bag, in this bag with your cleansing service, you're going to have a sponge, or you can have 2 cotton rounds to pretend as sponges. I like to have actual sponges in there, but I recommend pre-moistening the sponges. Another paper towel. This paper towel is to set up my SMA. So that's why almost each bag is going to have a paper towel. If not, you're going to have your bag of paper towels there. And I'm going to show you that whenever we start. Also have a cleanser. Remember, the cleanser has to be labeled. Cleanser has to have a label on it. And you don't have to use your good cleanser or actual cleanser. You can use a mock product like hand soap. You don't have to use real cleanser. You can use a mock. This is hand soap in here. It's not my actual good cleanser because we're going to work on a mannequin, right? So you don't want to waste your good stuff. Then I also have remover, makeup remover. And this is just water. It's not the real thing. Remember, you can do mop. I think this is another cleanser. There's 2 cleansers in here. You only need 1, but this one just has an extra one.
What about the trash bag?
Oh, the trash bag should have been in this first one. But if you're gonna use the hamper, I'm glad you mentioned that because it's not in there. But if
it says that it has to be labeled trash too.
Yeah, it has to have a trash. We'll get the trash bag or the hamper. Can somebody grab me a hamper?
Can I just get, when I use it tonight, can I just get a trash bag and write on it with a Sharpie trash?
You want to write on the pack that it's in, or a trash bag. Like the pack that it's in, you'll just put.
So just put a trash bag in a Ziploc bag and write trash bag on
Yeah,
it?
you can get a sandwich size bag. Not this, you don't need a big one. You just get a sandwich size bag like this and just put trash bag and label it trash bag. But we should have a trash bag in the first one. You're right. And you're going to need the trash bag if you're going to go take this practical exam in person. So we're going to get a trash. We're going to get a hamper. Or if you're going to take it online, I recommend just getting a closed hamper because sometimes when you tape your trash bag to the side of the desk, it could fall off because it's too heavy. But if you're going to go take your exam in person, your practical exam in person, you're going to need that trash bag because you're going to have to tape it on your table or your desk.
So take trash bag and tape.
Yeah, it's trash bag and tape. Trash bag and tape. If you're going to take it online, you can just use a hamper because you're not going to actually throw all your things away for real, but you're going to pretend like that clothing hamper is an actual trash can. So you're going to just be putting things away, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that in a little bit. Okay, so I got this hamper. We're going to pretend that this is a trash can. You're going to need this if you're taking your test online. If you're taking your test in person, you're going to need a trash bag and tape to tape your trash bag to the table. So please remember that. And that will be at the front, and that will go in your pre-exam bag. The tape and the trash bag will go in that bag. So now we're moving to cleansing service. Cleansing service. I told you about cleansing service. We did cleansing service. So we're going to move on to steaming service. So with your steaming service, you're going to label your bag steaming service. The only thing you're going to have in the bag is a towel. And I recommend moisten it, a pre-moistened towel. That's the only thing that's going to be here in this bag. Cleansing service. Steaming service. Next is massage service. Where's our massage service? Massage service, you're gonna label it massage service. Here, 1 paper towel for your SMA, 1 towel. This towel is just to wipe the oils off your hand later. It's optional. You don't have to have it, but you're going to actually be using oil. So you want to wipe your hands. So this is a massage oil, and this is just regular oil. If you want to use cooking oil, vegetable oil, you can use that, or you can use actual massage oil in the bottle. So if you don't want to use your good stuff, just put cooking oil in there. Oop. And 2 cotton rounds, because you have to remove the oil from your doll or your person. Okay, and that's it for that one. There's an extra paper towel in there. Next is, which service? A mask and moisturizing service. So here we have the mask and moisturizing service here. We have paper towel to set up our SMA. We have toner. This is just water. We have a mock mask. This is actually shaving cream. And you want to use something that has a similar consistency to the product, the actual product. So this is a thick shaving cream. And this is what we're using as a mask. And I've just basically put some green food coloring in there to give it that green color. And you also have your brushes. So I have 3 brushes in there. One is the silicone applicator brush, and this is what we're going to use to take it out of the jar. And then I have 2 other extra brushes here to apply the mask. You only need to use 1. You don't have to use all 3.
So the silicone and what else?
Just an applicator brush.
Applicator.
And then we also have a moisturizer, because they want to see you apply a moisturizer. And cotton round. I'm also going to add a cleansing. I'm probably going to add another cotton round in here before we start. I'll add another cotton round in there, because you have to remove the mask. And right now we only have 1 cotton round in there. You would use a actual sponge, and if you want to use sponges, if this was a real person, you would most likely be using sponges. If you want to add sponges in there, you can just pre-moisten the sponges, or you could use cotton rounds and pretend that they're sponges, but that's what you're going to use to remove the product off of your mannequin. Next is what I have, massage. Next we have services next. Okay. Next we have a wax service using soft wax. Okay. So this is our waxing service using soft wax. And you're gonna make sure that you put the label there. Of course, we have paper towels. This is gonna be to set up your SMA. Then you have gloves. These are vinyl gloves. We're going to use vinyl gloves because we're doing a wax service. Vinyl gloves because we're doing a wax service. And you always have to wear gloves during a wax service. And if you don't wear gloves, they're going to take off major points. Okay, so then we have another little bag here that's not labeled. It has your wax strips. It has some cotton rounds. And it also has your waxing sticks, waxing applicators. That's what that's there for, because we're doing a soft wax service, remember? So since we're doing a soft wax service, we have our mock soft wax. Clean that off. This is a mock soft wax. You can use something like lotion, Vaseline, or honey. Products like that has a similar consistency to soft wax, because you're not actually going to be waxing. You're going to be pretending to do the service. So you can't have an actual soft wax. It has to be a mop product for this service. So this is just a lotion, and it has to be labeled soft wax. And then we have our alcohol. This is going to be our prep, like a prep or you could, this is just a mock product. It's not the real thing. So you're gonna use a pre-wax and a post-wax. So you're gonna use this one as your pre-wax and this one as your post-wax. Make sure this is not real alcohol. This is real alcohol. I'm gonna trade this out for yeah. I'm gonna trade this out for an actual pre-wax and just a mock product. So that's all you need for that one. Let me make sure I get this out of here. Okay, next we have the blood exposure incident service. That's this one. So this one, notice we have red biohazard labels. There's one in the front and one in the back, just in case you have your bag facing in either direction. If you're online, the proctor will know that this is your biohazard label. So that's again why we have it labeled on both sides. And you can print this label out from Google and just tape it there on your bag. This one, this is our trash bag. Our trash bag is in biohazard, but we need a trash bag for this one too. Okay, so that's the one we need for this one. That's not the one we need in the first bag. You need a trash bag for this one too. So first thing is your trash bag. Then you're gonna definitely have your gloves. You're gonna have SMA. I'm gonna set your SMA. I'm gonna take one out so nobody is confused. And then you're gonna have your first aid. Okay, so with this bag in your first aid kit, you need to have a paper towel folded. And I have this thing folded twice. Somebody folded again, but it should be folded like this. You don't want to have it in there like this. So you should have one folded twice, and then you should have one set up for your SMA. The reason why I have this one folded twice is I want you to remember to hold pressure, because that's a requirement for this service, to be able to get credit for holding pressure, pretending that someone is bleeding and you're applying pressure. So this second fold is just to remind you that we're gonna hold pressure, we're gonna apply pressure. So we know this one is just folded once for your SMA, and this one is folded twice, so you remember to apply pressure. We also have a bandage in here and an antiseptic wipe. We have all those in there. So I'll just put that in here. Put everything back neatly. I'm gonna take one of these out. No, I'm gonna leave that in there. Okay. So your last section is pre-examination setup and disinfection. This is not setup. This is your breakdown. This is not pre-exam. I'm thinking about your first bag. This is end of examination, disinfection. And this is your easiest bag. It has gloves and one paper towel in there. So that's all you need. This is end of examination, disinfection. So I definitely recommend going to download the PSI, because it's also going to have the exact way the examiner is going to read off the information for the test. So it's going to have all that. And it's going to have your general instructions. It's going to tell you how you're not supposed to be talking, or if you need to use the bathroom, you can use the bathroom, but the time is going to continue to elapse while you're going to the bathroom. So it gives you all those details here. So also one big thing is, whenever you're done, make sure you raise your hand. You're going to raise your hand so that the proctor can check your work. If you're online, the proctor may ask you to bring your mannequin closer, or to move a little bit closer so that they can see that you're done. So you're not going to say, I'm done. You're going to raise your hand quietly. And the proctor may give you a thumbs up or a nod or something indicating that they did see that you're done. And another thing is, once the proctor gives you that thumbs up or the nod or whatever the proctor does to let you know that they've recognized that you're done, then you want to go in and disinfect after that. Do not disinfect until they've realized that you're done. You raise your hand and they've given you whatever indication that they know that you're done. Again, you're gonna disinfect at the end afterwards.
And you want them to watch you disinfect, correct?
Yes. Yeah, you want them to see you disinfect because you're supposed to disinfect before you move on to the next section. Nicole, you probably want to move over there. So
I'm Lemon Beyond. She just disinfects at the beginning every time, like before every section. Is it okay?
You can do that too.
Okay.
But you want to disinfect your section afterwards because it's up to you. You can do it before or you can do it after, as long as they see that you've done it. I like to do it at the end so they know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Again, you can do it at the beginning, and there are some cases where I will start off doing it so they can see that I did it in the beginning. But naturally, before we start, it's supposed to be done, and at the end we're supposed to decontaminate it naturally. That's how the order works. But you can do it before or you can do it after, as long as you do it. But you're definitely supposed to do it after.
Okay.
Definitely supposed to do it after. So you can do it before and after if you want.
Okay.
That means
I feel
like
it's just more safer.
like she knows what she's doing. She's doing it before and she's doing it after. It's up to you. As long as you do it. Okay, so this PSI packet also tells how much time you have for each section. So the proctor will call out that section. So this is how it's going to be called out, and it has exactly what the proctor is going to say. Okay, they're going to say the first section is pre-examination, setup, and disinfection. You have 10 minutes to unpack your general supplies and prepare your work area. You will be informed when you have 5 minutes remaining. Do not just start going into your kit when they say that, because a lot of times they'll do a pause. Don't just assume, okay, time for me to get started. No, do not do anything until you hear the words, you may begin. If you start before then, they'll take off points and they'll notice you more because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Like you weren't prepared. You didn't read the packet. You don't know that you're supposed to wait until they say, do not begin. So that makes them notice you more. Like they're going to take off more points because they're like, okay, she didn't even know that she's supposed to wait until I say do not begin. So do not touch that kit until you hear those words. You may begin. Once you hear you may begin, that's when you're going to go ahead and grab your kit. Your kit has to say sanitize the entire time, meaning the lid has to be on when you're not using it. If you leave this kit open with the lid off, they're going to take off major points from you. So this kit has to say sanitize. So once they say you may begin, you're going to go ahead and get your kit. Grab the section that they named. That section should be closest to you, not furthest from you. So position your kit in a way that the first bag is closest to you. That first bag is pre-examination and setup. They're going to tell you each section. They're going to tell you what section they're going to be working on. So you're going to take out that bag. Close the lid. You can set it on the floor. You don't want it in your way. So first thing you want to do, I'm going to use this hand sanitizer. I like to grab my hand sanitizer because I don't want to cross-contaminate my bag. So I'm going to grab my hand sanitizer out of the bag and I'm going to put my hand sanitizer on first. After that, you want to go ahead and grab your gloves. If you want to grab gloves for this section and put them on, you can. But you don't have to wear gloves for this section Gloves are not required, but if you just want to and you want to look extra ready, put your gloves on. And now, after you put your gloves on, you're going to take out one of your paper towels. Don't take the whole pack out. You're not going to leave the whole pack out. You're just going to take one paper towel out, and you're going to take out your EPA.
I have a question. So we don't have to like disinfect the area before we put the bag down, or
How you going to grab your disinfection?
well,
The nail one is really different than this. We like have to hold the bag up, grab into it, keep the bag held, spray everything, grab a napkin, wipe it, keep it held, and then we can send it.
I was just
You can do it like that, but you don't have to.
Okay. I was just
So it's the same concept. It's the same concept. In order to get your EPA out of the bag, you have to open the bag. It's in the bag. So your bag, you can either hold it the whole time like this and do it, or you can just leave it there and lift it up and disinfect everything. So they're not going to take points. They just want to see that you're disinfecting everything.
Okay.
So if you do it that way, that's fine. So you can either spray the desk or you can spray your paper towel. I always recommend spraying the paper towel. So you go ahead and wipe. Remember, we're going to go from top to bottom. Wipe everything down. Don't go back up. From top to bottom without going back up. Here. Your hand sanitizer is going to stay on your desk the whole time. It's going to stay here. So your EPA or your barbicide is going to stay there the entire time. This is going to go in the trash. So I'm going to pretend like I threw it in the trash. And every time you throw something in the trash, you have to sanitize your hands. Every single time you throw something in the trash, you have to sanitize. So I'm going to pretend that it's thrown in the trash, and then I'm going to sanitize my hand. And when you sanitize your hand, you're going to sanitize both front and back of your hand. Do not just do this. You need to sanitize both front and back of your hand. Okay, the next thing is your paper towels. Your paper towels are also going to stay on the desk the entire time. They're going to stay there the whole time. That is in case there's a blood exposure or anything, or you need something to set up, or you run out of paper towels to disinfect. You always have your paper towel set up here. Then you have your first aid kit, which is also going to stay on your desk the entire time. That's in case you or your person, your customer, client, has a blood exposure incident. You have your first aid kit ready to go. So we're going to leave these inside. Okay, so that is your pre-examination setup and disinfection. So the proctor is going to say, okay, you have 5 minutes remaining. But if you're already done, go ahead and raise your hand. Make sure that the proctor recognizes you or gives you a nod, head shake, whatever it is. Thumbs up. Then, once you're done, you're just going to sit there and wait until the proctor calls the next section. And the proctor will say all scoring has been completed. We will now proceed to the next section of the examination.
Is that when you would disinfect though? When you're, after you've raised your hand?
After I raise my hand, then I will go into
So you need
disinfect.
to like allot a few seconds of time to yourself for disinfecting.
Yeah, but if you're moving slower, then just do it before.
Okay.
That's fine. If you're moving a little bit slower, then just do it before. So the next section is cleansing service. Please perform a cleansing service. You have 14 minutes to complete this section. You will be informed when you have 7 minutes remaining. You may begin. Okay, so this one, we don't need this bag anymore. I'm trying to keep everything in order for Sarah so we don't have to go back and put everything. So I'm trying my best to keep everything in order, but when you're taking your test, you're just gonna be dumping things away. So this is your first bag that you've already dumped away. And remember, we're pretending that this is the trash can. So we're sanitizing every time we throw something away. Our next section is cleansing service. We're gonna take the lid off and grab cleansing service, and we're gonna grab our mannequin because we need her for this service. We're gonna put the lid back on. Key for this service is Sanitizing your hands. We always sanitize our hands before we touch the customer. Prepare the mannequin for the service. She's already ready to go. That's why I say keep her headband on her. Don't put it on. Just have it on her in the box. Have her headband on so you don't have to prepare her. She's already prepared. Remove eye makeup and lipstick. Cleanse face. Remove cleansing cream. So she's already ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and sanitize before I touch her. I'm going to sanitize both fronts and backs of my hand. She's ready to go. What am I going to do next? I'm going to set up my SMA because we always have a sanitary maintenance area. Set it up here. This is where I'm going to keep everything isolated. Okay, so I have my cleanser. I'm going to line everything up in the way that I'm going to be using it. Okay, so I have my cleanser. I have my cleansing pads here. I should have used these. I want to just use these. I don't want to use the wet ones because I don't want to mess up the paper towel. But you don't care about this. This is me because I'm trying to make sure everything stays neat for Sarah. So we're going to pretend these are cleansing pads. These are just cotton rounds. And then I have makeup remover. So the makeup remover needs to go before.
So the sponges,
I think that's it.
they'll need to be wet, like pre-wet.
You want to pre-moisten them,
Okay.
or you can just pretend.
Because you really do the service on the mannequin.
Yes, you
So
really
you have to
do.
put the cleanser on and you really have to take it off.
Okay.
So it works better if they're moistened, but you can pretend that they're moistened. It's up to you. It's up to you. So again, what they're looking for here is that you sanitize your hands. So you can sanitize your hands multiple times just to make sure they saw you. Remember, there's going to be more people in that testing room, or even online. There's going to be more than one person online with you, so they may not see you sanitize. So you can go in, and I always recommend whenever you're in doubt, go ahead and sanitize your hands just to even think. If you need time to think, just sanitize. What should I do next? Because you're not going to have this list. You're not going to have this list here. So it's a good idea to download the list and prepare yourself for the test. So first thing they want to see is that you're removing the makeup. So that's why we have our makeup remover, and I labeled it here makeup remover to remind you this is a makeup remover. It goes first. So we've already sanitized our hands. We're going to take our makeup remover, and maybe we should put another one in here now that I think about it. I'll put another one in here. Another cotton round. So makeup remover, or you can just use these sponges and then use one of these for your makeup remover. So we'll just pretend that we're going to use those, and this is just going to be for makeup remover. So this one here, makeup remover, you're just going to add the drops here, close the tops. All the tops have to be closed after you use the product. You have to recap your products. So we're going to go in and we're going to remove the eye makeup. So first thing you're going to do is go from inner to outer. Never go from outer to inner, and never go back in. So you're going to go from inner. The inner corner is the cleanest part of the eye. You're going to go from cleanest to dirtiest, inner, outer. So inner, outer. Fold, inner, outer. Right there. Okay. Next thing they want to know is, next thing they want you to do is rather cleanse the face, and then you're going to remove the cleansing cream. So here we're going to pretend that I really don't want to put cleanser on these, so I'm trying to save them for you so I don't have to make a mess. But these are your cleansing sponges, and again, I recommend pre-moistening them. So we have our cleansing sponges here, and sanitize. Let's just sanitize. You don't have to do it because you're already done in the beginning, but I recommend doing it whenever. Okay, I got the front and the back of my hand. So now I'm going to take my cleansing sponges here and just have them on the side because I'm about to use my cleanser. So with your cleanser, you're going to go ahead and put your cleanser on the back of your hand to warm it. Recap. Make sure that it's recapped. Then you're going to warm your product on the back of your hand. Go ahead and scoop it off. Rub it in your hand. Then you're going to go ahead and perform a cleansing. You're going to actually do this. I'm doing a mock, but they need to actually see you do this service with your product. You're going to go ahead and do your cleansing hand motions. Make sure that you go ahead and get in there really good. You're cleansing her skin. You want them to, it shouldn't be super fast. They need to see you doing this. They need to see you going in to do your cleansing motions. Cleansing the skin. Making sure you get everything in there. Of course, with your product, you're going to have more slip, so it's going to be easier. You can also put a tripod up and have her on the tripod, which is easier to maneuver her with the tripod. She doesn't move around a lot. So I did put that in the kit. I put it in there. But if you just want to go ahead and use her without the tripod, you can. I recommend using it because it helps stop her from moving around. It's harder to go in and she's moving around like this. So go ahead and do your cleansing service. They want to see you remove the product off of her. So you're going to go ahead and remove your cleansing product with your cleansing sponges. You're going to go in. Everything shouldn't be so fast. You want to make sure they see you. Make sure they see you. Go in with your sponges, okay? After you've done that, you're done with that service. That's all they are looking for. So now that we're done, we're not going to put anything away until they notice us. So we're going to go ahead and raise our hand. And they'll give you a nod, thumbs up, whatever. Once they do that, you can go ahead and disinfect and put everything away.
So the day of, we won't have the list, but the people, will they be like, you may proceed to the next section? Are they gonna be like, it's gonna be clean?
We're at 100% passing rate right
That's
now.
the hardest part, which is the test.
Okay,
I feel like this is
so
the harder one.
I know what works. I know what works.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've done this a long time. I know.
That's you.
So Glam and Beyond, everybody has a little something different though.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you hit the main skills that are there, that's what matters. So everybody has a little something else that they do. My thing is, I don't know if y'all noticed for the time that y'all been with me, I'm pretty straight to the point. I don't like to drag on. I don't like to carry things along. I don't like to waste my time on my words. I like to get straight there. So I'm showing you how to get in and out. Now, there's other ways of doing it where you may take a little bit more time or you may do a little extra step and this and that, and they're not wrong. It's just me. This is the way that I like to do it because it's like straightforward, in and out. There's no confusion. That's what it is.
When you raise your hand, will they acknowledge you?
Yeah. You want to make sure
Are they gonna say Sarah, or are they gonna like, nod at me on the computer? How am I gonna know they're talking to me?
No, on the computer, when you raise your hand, look at this thing. Let's get started. Okay, so we're ending this section. The proctor has already gave us the nod, the heads up, the hands, whatever. So now we're gonna take this bag and it's gonna go in the trash. Dump it in the trash. Sanitize every time you dump something in the trash, and we're just gonna wait because there are gonna be other people testing. We can't just move on or start doing other things. If you wanted to disinfect after or before, it's fine. They just need to see that you've done it. It doesn't have an order here, but the natural way is to disinfect or decontaminate after the service. So cleansing service, that's the one that we've just completed. Okay, so the proctor will say, please stop working. All scoring has been completed. We will now proceed to the next section of the examination. The next section is steaming service. Please perform a steaming service. You have 7 minutes to complete this section. You will be informed when you have 4 minutes remaining. You may begin. Don't start until you hear you may begin. So let me tell you what they're looking for in this service. They're looking that you prepare the towel for service, drape the towel to cover the face, properly dispose of waste material, ensure the workstation area remains sanitary, ensure head draping is maintained throughout the service, replace contaminated items, kit remains sanitary, avoid cross-contamination. Okay, so here, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make sure her headband has to stay on the whole time. Okay, so before we touch her, we're gonna go ahead and sanitize. Before we touch our kit, we're gonna go ahead and sanitize. Let's grab the kit. Let's take out our bag and put the top back on. We have our steaming service here. Go ahead and sanitize again before we touch our customer. Okay, for this one, we're gonna go ahead and take our steaming towel out. Key here is you need to test the temperature of your towel. So the way we test for temperature, you don't want to do it on a wrist that has jewelry or a watch, and you definitely shouldn't even have jewelry on. So you want to make sure that you're doing it on an arm that doesn't have any bracelets, jewelry, or watches or anything. So you're going to just test over here. And I would test 3 times and hold my arm up high so they know I'm testing the temperature here. I'm testing the temperature here, okay? So then we're going to go prepare our towel for the steaming service. Go ahead and prepare it like you would any other time. Go ahead and place your towel the way you would do it if she was an actual human. Make sure she can breathe. Go ahead and show them you have all your skills. Go ahead and do
Is this towel
vibration.
also actually a little bit moist too?
Yeah, I pre-moistened the towel before. So it's a good idea to do that. Otherwise, your towel is going to keep falling off. You want to pre-moisten that towel. You don't have to. Just like you don't have to moisten your sponges. But I
It's way
recommend.
harder to put a dry towel on.
Yeah. So it does. You don't have to, but I recommend that you do it. And you just go ahead and show them that you know what you're doing. Use your vibration. Okay. Then you're going to go ahead and raise your hand. You're done. This one is very easy too. This is a very easy section. Once the proctor acknowledges you, go ahead and take it off of her, because he needs to see that towel on her. They need to see that. Then you can go ahead and take it off and just put it in the bag. I'm just gonna put it in a neat way. You don't have to make everything back neat like that, but I'm gonna make it neat for Sarah. Okay, you can go ahead and dump your in the trash bag. Then you can go ahead and grab your paper towel and raise her up and disinfect everything. Everything is done and ready to go and ready for the next section. Okay, so the next section is massage service. So the proctor will say all scoring has been completed. We will now proceed to the next section of the examination. The next section is massage service. Please demonstrate massage manipulations. You have 17 minutes to complete this section. You will be informed when you have 9 minutes remaining. You may begin. So what they're looking for in this section is that you sanitize your hands, apply the massage cream, demonstrate effleurage, petrissage, tamponment, remove massage product, properly dispose of waste material, ensure workstation and area remain sanitary, ensure head draping is maintained throughout the service, replace contaminated items, ensure containers remain closed when not in use, kit remains sanitary, avoid cross-contamination. So before we touch our kit, just gonna go ahead and sanitize both front and backs of our hands. Go ahead and grab your next section out. Make sure that the lid is there.
Does the closing the lid part need to be in frame so they know for sure it's closed?
No.
Should we set up like a second table?
It doesn't have to be in frame. They just need to see that you.
Or messing around.
Yeah, I get it. Because they don't have to see it unless you're in the, but it doesn't have to be in a frame because it'll be in your way. So before we touch her, we're going to go ahead and sanitize both front and backs of our hands. We're going to go ahead and get everything out for this service. And you're going to have your SMA set up. Go ahead and set up everything here. I like to have my labels facing the proctor so they know what I'm doing, what I'm using. This is my hand towel just to remove the oils from my hands. And I got a couple of cotton pads. I'm going to add that later into the other one. I got these cotton rounds here. because what we're gonna do are,
To remove the oil.
yeah, to remove that oil. Let's make sure we got everything out. Sanitize, apply massage cream, demonstrate all the manipulations. Effleurage, we're not doing all of them. We're only doing 3. They only need to see 3 massages. Effleurage, petrissage, tamponade. Then you're gonna remove that product. After you do your massage, you're gonna remove the massage oil, and then you're gonna properly dispose of everything. Okay, so let's go here again. We're gonna sanitize our hands. Okay, your massage oil here. You're gonna make sure that you warm the massage product on the back of your hand. Remember, you're doing the skills. I'm just practicing doing a mock, but you're actually doing these skills. You're gonna actually put the oil on her and all the other products, but you're actually doing the skills. Okay, so you're gonna put your massage oil on the back of your hand, warm it up, go ahead, get your massage oil on her. You can put it here, 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 and here. It's up to you, on her nose. After you get it on her, then you're gonna go ahead and rub that oil in over her skin. Rub that oil in over her skin. Remember, you're actually doing this service. Rub it in. Once you get the oil rubbed in over all surfaces of her face, that's when you're gonna go in and start your massage manipulations. Again, I recommend that you use a stand so she stays in place. First one you always want to start with is your effleurage. Go in slowly so they can see that you're doing every massage technique so they don't miss anything. So make sure that you're going in slowly. You're not going fast, you're going slowly so that they can see that you're doing every technique correctly. Make sure you're doing your hand over hand, going in. It's a lot easier if she's not moving because you're trying to stabilize her while you're doing this if you don't have the stand. So just go in around and do each massage technique 3 times. That's what I recommend, doing each technique 3 times, so that guarantees that they can see you doing each manipulation. Then you're gonna go in with your petrissage. So whatever direction you're going in, you should stay in that direction. You're not skipping around her face. If you want to start at the chin, you can start at the chin. If you want to start at the forehead, you can. Typically, we start at the chin for petrissage. Next is a tampon. Remember, this is no fingernails, and you will need to take your nails off or have them very, very, very short with barely any free edge. So you don't want to have nails on like how I do. So if you have that, they'll take points off for decontamination. So you don't want to have that. So you're going to go through and do your tamponade. And then you're going to go through and you're going to remove that massage product off of her.
So it's 3 massages?
They only want to see 3. So you don't have to do all of them. Just those 3: effleurage, petrissage, and tamponade. Okay. So you're going to make sure that they see you removing that product off of her. Okay. She get the product off of her. You can go ahead and remove that oil, because remember, you're going to be having the oil on her, on your hands. You're going to go ahead and just take this towel and remove those oils from your hand. Okay, once you're done, then you can go ahead and raise your hand. And then once they've acknowledged you, you can go ahead and start to break down. If you want to decontaminate your bottles right there, you can as well, which is like they really know you know what you're doing. Otherwise, you can put them in the bag for later. But I recommend just going in to decontaminate your bottles from top to bottom, the way we would do it if there was a person. That way you don't get any points taken off. Okay, so go here, put everything up, and we're gonna throw it in the trash, and we're gonna sanitize our hand. Every time we throw something in the trash, we're gonna grab a paper towel and we're gonna disinfect our area with our EPA. Okay. Okay, so the next section is, so if the proctor will say all scoring has been completed, we will now proceed to the next section. The next section is mask and moisturizing service. Please perform a procedures for a mask and moisturizing service. You have 17 minutes to complete this section. You will be informed when you have 9 minutes remaining. You may begin. So before we open the kit, let's go ahead and sanitize. Grab the mask and moisturizing service out. Okay, so what they're looking for in this section is sanitizing hands, applying massage cream, demonstrate effleurage this is massage service. Let me move. Mask and moisturizing. So what they're looking for is sanitize hands, apply mask, remove mask, apply astringent, freshener, or toner. You don't need all three. So either one, astringent, freshener, or toner, which we have a mock product, so it really doesn't matter. If you want to have the real thing, you have that choice. You have that choice to do that. And they want to see that you apply moisturizer afterwards. So criteria is they want to see that you properly. So the criteria is the same for all of them. The same criteria. Okay. So before we touch her, we're going to go ahead and sanitize our hands, front and back. We're going to go ahead and let's set up our SMA. Let's go ahead and put our products in the order that we're going to use them. And again, I recommend having your labels face the proctor. This is our mask. And this is your moisturizer. So again, put them in the order that you're going to use them to make it easier for yourself.
Are you putting the products on the paper towel?
No.
Just like on the edge of it like we would do in real life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then I'm going to add this one. We're going to remove the mask with this one. And your brushes. You only need to take 2 of them out. You don't need all 3. You shouldn't be using all 3. So you just need 1 to remove the, oh, you may need 3. Yeah, because you need 3 for your moisturizer. I almost forgot. Because the moisturizer is not in a squeeze bottle. It's in this bottle. So you do need all 3. If it was in a squeeze bottle, then you wouldn't need all 3. I'll probably replace that one later, but it's fine right now. So first thing we're going to do is apply our mask. So you're actually going to apply your mask. If it's a cold mask, then you want it to stay cold. And if it's a regular mask, then you're just going to put it on. A cold mask, we wouldn't warm it up. Okay, so we're going to go in with our mask. You can scoop your mask out with the applicator. Just make sure that you put the top back on. And again, you're going to make sure that you are actually doing this service. Go ahead and put your mask here. Go ahead and take your applicator brush. The key with this service is it has to be an even application. If you're going to do it thick at the forehead, it needs to be thick at the rest of the areas on the face. If it's going to be thin up here, it needs to be thin everywhere. So it has to be an even application, whether you do thick or thin. It needs to be even all the way around. So we're going to go ahead and grab our mask and put it on all surfaces. Make sure you don't have a bunch of gaps. That's another thing. Make sure that all surfaces of the skin are covered, avoiding the eyes. So you're putting your mask on, you have your mask on, and make sure that you sit there for a little bit of time. You're not going to take that mask off right away. You're going to let it sit. And you want the proctor to see you allowing it to sit so that they know, you know that that mask should sit on the skin a certain amount of time. So you're going to sit there and wait while you're waiting. While the mask is on her face, you're waiting, you're sanitizing. You can go ahead and disinfect a little bit. But the mask is sitting here. You're not just taking it off right away. So
how long would you wait?
You can give it a few minutes, like 2-3 minutes. You just don't want to take it off as soon as you put it on.
You just want them to see that you're
Yes,
to know that it's supposed to be sitting.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So once you let it sit for a few minutes, go ahead, go in, take it off. Take all that mask off of her. If you need to add more paper towels, just use some of your paper towels to remove the mask. If it gets too saturated, just go ahead and put your paper towels. Okay, and so we've removed the mask off of her. The mask has been removed. The mask is gone. So next thing they want to see is that we apply a toner, astringent, or freshener. This is just water. Again, this is just a mock product, but it's labeled toner, right? So with the toner, you could take a cotton round and you can spray the cotton round and you can apply it to her skin this way. Or you can spritz her, which is what I prefer. So if you spritz her, you're not going to spritz her directly. Remember, we're not going to spray her. We never spritz our customers directly. You're going to spray, and I always recommend doing a test spray over here to make sure that it's not going to drip out. So you're not going to spray her. You're going to spray over her and let it fall. I'm not spraying her. I'm spraying it over her. Okay? You don't spray her, please. Okay? So then, now that I've applied my toner, but you also have an option to use cotton round. It's however you choose. Then your moisturizer is going to be the last step. So you're going to go ahead and take your moisturizer out, apply your moisturizer, and you can just use it to take it out and then go ahead and rub it in. Don't just put it on like a mask. Don't put the moisturizer on with the mask. This is just so you can go in and dip the product out, because it is not a squeeze bottle. It's like that. So just make sure that the top is a recap. Make sure that it's recapped. So once you're done with that service, you can go ahead and raise your hand. The proctor sees that you're done. Go ahead and start putting everything away. Once you're done, you're gonna throw it in the trash. Every time we throw something in the trash, we sanitize both fronts and backs. Go ahead and disinfect. Lift her up to disinfect. Throw that away, sanitize. And you're gonna barbicide whenever you disinfect as well. So now that we're done with that, we're gonna move on to waxing service. The next section is waxing service using soft wax. Please apply simulated wax product to one eyebrow. Please don't do both. Just do one. They only need one brow. You have 14 minutes to complete this section. You will be informed when you have 7 minutes remaining. You may begin. What they're looking for in this section is that you wear gloves. Prepare the area of one brow. Demonstrate proper application of wax. Demonstrate proper application of fabric strip, because remember, this is a soft wax service, not hard wax. Demonstrate proper removal of wax. Apply post wax. They only really care about the post wax, but you're gonna have the pre-wax in here just because. Okay, let's sanitize before we go into the kit. Service here. Let's set up our SMA.
The proctors are actual licensed estheticians themselves, right? Okay.
Yeah, you have to be licensed. Once you get your license, you can actually be a proctor.
Is a proctor like a full-time job on its own?
I think so, because I think they do multiple times each day.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, they were hiring. They sent out something saying that they were hiring at one time last year.
Bree said that the manicure side is hiring for walkers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think it's that good of a job though, because they seem real miserable. Like, When I went up there to take the test, they were the meanest two ladies I've run into in a while. They seemed miserable.
No, why they so mean? I mean, they had to go through the same process.
I know, and they got to deal with me. I'm a joy. So they deal with.
Okay, so we're taking everything out. We're gonna put it in order that we're gonna use it. So we have a pre-wax. You don't have to have one. The only thing they really care about is a post-wax, but we have it in there. So we're gonna make sure our labels are facing that way. So pre-wax is gonna go first since we're using it, then our wax, and then our post is gonna go last. So let's go ahead and sanitize our hands. You wanna sanitize your hands even though you're using gloves. So you're gonna sanitize, you're gonna put your gloves on. Pretend that I have my gloves on. I have my gloves on my hands, okay? So then we're gonna go in with our pre-wax solution. Go here, go ahead and remove. Go ahead and put that there. And then we're gonna grab our actual soft wax, then and our stick. So we're gonna go in to our wax, our mock wax. We're gonna pretend this is just like a soft wax. We're gonna handle it like it's an actual soft wax. Go ahead. Huh?
So you want to like roll it and everything?
Yes,
Okay.
you wanna pretend. So you're gonna pretend, cap it. You're gonna have the product on your hand. Go ahead and pull the skin taut.
We don't test it on ourselves
I was
first.
gonna
Oh, yeah,
ask that.
we
Okay,
do.
I was gonna ask that.
You do test it on yourself. I'm sorry. You test it on yourself, so you want to actually bring out 2 sticks. I almost forgot that. Look, y'all got it. Y'all got it. Okay. So bring out 2 sticks so you can test on yourself. The first one that we already pulled out, we're gonna test in our inner wrist on an arm that doesn't have the watch. So we'll test it over here. That's the main thing they want to see, actually, that you test that wax. So that's really important. So once we test the wax, it's good. Then we're gonna go in again and grab some more wax here. Make sure that you're pretending that she has skin and you're pulling that skin taut. You don't want to just go in. You want to pretend that she has skin. You're pulling the skin taut. They need to see those 2 fingers there. Then you're gonna go in, apply your mock wax. Okay. Then you're gonna go here, go ahead and apply your strip. Then we're here, we're holding the skin taut. We're gonna go here, rip, apply that pressure, apply the pressure. She's good, okay? Once you've done that, you're gonna go ahead, go in with your post wax. Put this over here. Go on with your post wax. Okay, she's good to go. Now, proctor checks. We're gonna go ahead and decontaminate everything.
There's only one proctor.
Yeah, that's, well, online there's one proctor. In person, there may be more than one proctor in person. Okay, the 80. Put all our items back in here. Oh, did I get that in here? I'll put this over here. Okay, so now we're gonna throw that one in the trash. Sanitize again. Then we're gonna disinfect. Sanitize. Okay, so we're moving on to the next section. All scoring has been completed. We will now proceed to the next section of the examination. The next section is blood exposure incident service. Please perform procedures for a blood exposure incident service. You have 12 minutes to complete this section. You will be informed when you have 6 minutes remaining. You may begin. Blood exposure, they're looking at you wear gloves, clean simulated cut, bandage simulated cut, properly dispose of used materials, sanitize, cleanse hands. Let's go ahead and sanitize before we go into our kit. We're here. Okay, So make sure that you have your bag labeled on each side. That way there's no confusion. First thing we're gonna do is take everything out. Let's take everything out. And we're gonna set up our double bag. Why are we gonna set up our bag? Because that's the way we dispose of a blood exposure incident. We double bag. And they need to see that you know that. So this is the easiest way to do that, by using your biohazard bag and a second bag. That is 2 bags. Double bag. Let's set that up and prepare it over here on the side here. Okay, then you're gonna set your SMA up over here and take out everything you're gonna need. Remember, this one is folded because this is the one you're gonna use to apply pressure. Make sure you fold this paper towel twice. You have your Band-Aid, your antiseptic, your gloves. You're actually gonna be doing this service. So you're actually gonna do this service here. So they wanna make sure that you know to put your gloves on first, because the first thing we do for a blood exposure incident is to put on gloves. That's the first thing we do. So you're gonna put your gloves on. So I have my gloves on. Okay, I have my gloves on. Go ahead and sanitize. I have my gloves on. Your customer here is bleeding everywhere. I have my gloves on. First thing I'm gonna do for her is take this thing off and out of my way because it has blood all over it. Then I'm gonna go ahead and apply pressure. When I apply pressure, I want the proctor to see that I'm applying pressure. I wanna make it noticeable. Look at me, I'm applying pressure. You don't wanna say, you wanna make it notable. Look, this is pressure here, okay? So after you apply the pressure, go ahead and put that in your biohazard, okay? Go ahead, this can go in your biohazard as well. Then you're gonna get your antiseptic. You're actually gonna take it out of the pack. Apply the antiseptic. Go ahead and put that in your bag. Then you're gonna
re-sanitize after you put it in the bag.
No, because you have blood everywhere.
Okay.
So you don't want to touch your sanitizer bottle, else you gotta throw it away. So go ahead and put your bandage here. That you're gonna actually take the bandage out and you're gonna put it on her. Put it in there. Then go ahead and take the gloves off and everything else. Put it in here. Zip it up and raise your hand. Okay, when they notice you, now we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna fix this bag back for you because this one is all jumbled up now. Go ahead and after you finish with this section, I think we have one more section. So she's gonna go in the trash. After this section, she's going in the trash. Okay, I have this out just because I'm gonna fix it for Sarah. Then we're gonna go ahead and disinfect everything. Go ahead and sanitize your hands. This wouldn't be here. I just have it out. Okay. So then, now that I've sanitized my hand, no, we wait till the proctor calls the next section. See, that go left. Okay. So now that section is done, the proctor will say, "Can I just please stop working?" The next section is end of examination disinfection. You have 10 minutes to complete this section. You will be informed when you have 5 minutes remaining. You may begin. All they want to see here is that you dispose of used materials, you disinfect the workstation and clean the area, remove all supplies, materials, and or personal belongings. So here, you're going to get rid of everything. So go ahead and grab your bag here. Here, you can use gloves for this, but it's not a requirement. The only time gloves are required is when it says it here. It'll say on the sections that they require you to use gloves, it has it there. But we just put gloves in there in case you just want to be real fancy and let them know that you're serious about your decontamination. So you would put your gloves on and just take your paper towel. Throw that away. Take your paper towel. Disinfect everything. Everything's gonna go back in the trash. Sanitize. Everything's going in the trash. Everything. Your table should be clean and clear. Once everything is clean and clear, there's nothing on my table now. That's when I'm gonna raise my hand.
So what was in the last bag? Is it just the gloves in there?
Gloves and a paper towel.
Oh, okay.
So there's nothing, like all that is
All
gone.
this doesn't
Oh,
exist.
Your
Okay.
disinfectant